Hey, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. With the sad news of Toby Hooper's passing, I've decided to review a very underrated movie by him. A lot of people know of Poltergeist and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and even Salem's Lot, but one movie that always gets overlooked is Lifeforce. This is a very ambitious project that Hooper was involved in, and it was released by Canon Films. And it's based on a novel by Colin Wilson called Space Vampires. And from the offset, you think it's very cheesy, but the script really holds up. It's written by Dan O'Bannon, the man behind Alien. And Hooper does a fantastic job making what could be a very silly, sleazy movie into a very engaging sci-fi. Canon at the time were kind of known for churning out these really low budget, dirty kind of action movies like Invasion USA and Kickboxer, and they wanted to do something ambitious. They wanted to get the kind of level of interest that studios like 20th Century Fox had gotten with the likes of Alien, and they decided to do this. Now, Menachem Globus was a very outspoken character, and for the script he demanded that the head vampire, played by Matilda May, be naked through the entire thing. Now, that would have come across as really schlocky and sleazy, but it doesn't. Matilda May does a fantastic job of making this almost sensual, otherworldly creature. You do feel that she is a extraterrestrial as well as a vampire. What is the main story? Well, the main story centers around a astronaut crew who encounter a vessel in the tail of Halley's Comet. The crew end up being dispatched one by one, and the sole survivor, played by Steve Railsback, makes it back to Earth, sadly a little too late to stop and warn the human race of the marauding vampires' kind of plan. Their plan is to suck the human race dry of all their life force. It is a very ambitious, very high-octane spectacle, with their victims turning into these kind of zombie husk creatures who when they're sucked dry, have to suck someone else of their life force. You have Patrick Stewart turning up in the role of a doctor. You have a couple of other characters who are really good, but the standout performance for me is Steve Railsback. He's a dude who knows he has to destroy these vampires, but he's still under Matilda May's spell. He's like Renfield and Dracula. He's obsessed and enamored with this creature. The visual effects are awesome. They're done by John Dykstra. This was the man behind Star Wars, keep in mind. And both the visual effects of the creatures is amazing, and also the kind of end battle and end spectacle of the energy kind of being sucked from all the zombified humans in Piccadilly Circus and around London is cool, as it's being beamed up to the main ship. The soundtrack is also amazing. Henry Mancini's score is operatic, it's epic. It raises the grandiose kind of feeling that you'd expect from a big sci-fi and puts it into this. A lot of people do mark this movie off as schlock. I don't think so. I think it's got a great cast, a great premise, and it is tons of fun. If you like your sci-fi and horror, not that highbrow, but something a bit unique and a bit different, this is definitely the way to go. Lifeforce is amazing. Matilda May is fantastic as this cool alien femme fatale, and Toby Hooper does an amazing job with this movie. It is an underrated classic, and a lot more people need to check it out. Definitely give Lifeforce a look. If you're a fan of kind of vampiric sci-fi horror with buckets of gore and a bit of sex, I have some book recommendations. First off, the 2000 AD classic, Durham Red. This is a fantastic sci-fi tale of this badass vampire chick who just goes around killing mutants and destroying humans and marauding creatures. It's got some fantastic artwork, some amazing religious iconography, and it's got a very kind of steampunk vibe. The character herself is vicious and savage, and I think she's influenced characters like Blood Rain and even Harley Quinn to an extent. If you get a chance, definitely check out Durham Red. because it is an amazing comic. The artwork is brilliant. This edition is written by Dan Abnett, and Mark Harrison does the artwork. Definitely check this book out. Next up, in sci-fi horror and kind of sexy, gory vampires, I would check out Requiem, The Vampire Knight. These books are awesome. The artwork is amazing. It essentially is set in this kind of purgatoria existence where vampires and kind of creatures of darkness dwell, and they have to embrace their kind of savage side in order to survive. We have one character who may not belong there. He was a Nazi officer who fell in love with a Jewish lady and killed her. As a result, he's torn up, but beyond kind of recognition that he's kind of lost his mind in this area, and his soul is being torn against by different clans of vampires, especially Claudia, who's this kind of really dominatrix, manipulative and scheming vampire. Again, an awesome vampire sci-fi horror story, and if you get a chance, definitely check it out. Pat Mills, awesome 2000 AD writer, and Oliver Labrotte, I think, is the author or the artist for this book. So definitely check these out. Again, the art in these comics are amazing, and I highly recommend you give them a look. So that's from my review of Lifeforce, and it's sad, it's tragic. We've lost another Titan not so long after losing George A. Romero. Toby Hooper is a legend. He'll be remembered for his contributions to cinema, just like Romero. Texas Chainsaw was a milestone in creating what can only be considered modern horror, and he's going to be missed. So yeah, take care, Toby. Hope you're happy. Bye now.